Hey, what's up? I'm here to run through the new patch for God of War Sons of Sparta. The update in question is labeled 1.005, and based on reporting from patch aggregators, it's a pretty focused hotfix that aims to clean up some stability and save-related headaches that have been cropping up for players. To be specific, the patch is small but targeted. There are general stability fixes and gameplay performance improvements listed, which usually means background tweaks to how the game handles memory, thread timing, or certain edge case crashes. Basic stuff that can make the whole experience feel smoother, even if it's not a flashy new feature. Alongside that are several save system fixes, and these are the ones players have been talking about the most. The notes say the bug that could make save data appear missing after repeatedly hitting the save input at campfires has been addressed, and save slots should now correctly display stored data even after rapid save attempts. Additionally, the save handling was adjusted so rapid consecutive saves no longer risk showing false empty save slots, meaning you can hit save multiple times in a row without having to space them out to avoid potential problems. This sort of fix is one of those quiet but hugely appreciated patches. Imagine you're mid-run, you beat a tricky encounter, you want to lock in progress, and you mash the save button instinctively. If the game sometimes misreads that and shows an empty slot or hides your progress, it's terrifying. Fixing the detection and display of save slots reduces that anxiety, and even if the change is under the hood, it can prevent a lot of frustrated restarts or social media posts later. Beyond the save fixes, the mention of gameplay performance improvements suggests a few optimizations that could help frame rate stutters or small slowdowns, especially in busier rooms or during heavy ability effects. Whether players actually feel a difference will depend on their hardware and the areas they frequent, but any improvement there is a win in my book. It's worth flagging that while this patch is being reported by reliable patch trackers and community posts, official studio posts around this exact version are a little sparse. Mega Cat Studios and PlayStation have been actively posting about the game's initial launch and prior updates, including a previous 1.04 update that carried its own fixes, but the 1.005 notes appear first in third-party aggregators and community confirmations rather than a big, polished dev blog post. That's not uncommon for small, hot fixes. Studios sometimes deploy them quietly and let patch databases and players confirm the details, but it's still useful context when you're checking sources. So what should you expect when you next jump in? The immediate visual cue will likely be that your save slots behave more reliably. Players who have been nervous about repeatedly saving at camp, or who previously noticed their save slot looked blank after a few attempts, should see that resolved. Performance-wise, you might notice fewer hiccups during intense fights or in sections with a lot of enemy spawns and effects, though it won't suddenly turn an unstable run into a locked 60 FPS experience. It's incremental improvement rather than a sweeping overhaul. Think of it like a comfort update. Less risk of losing progress and a slightly steadier play experience in specific scenarios. For those following patch histories closely, this is a typical pattern. Launch, quick patches for obvious bugs and quality of life fixes, then incremental updates to polish save handling and stability. The patch notes explicitly call out that rapid consecutive saves no longer risk triggering false empty save slots, and that players may now save multiple times without requiring delays, which is exactly the kind of nitty-gritty fix that saves people from late-night panic about lost runs. It also suggests the developers are responding to real player behavior. People spam the save button sometimes, and the game now handles that input more gracefully. I'd also highlight that improvements like these often have a ripple effect. Fewer corrupted or missing saves means fewer support tickets and fewer fans posting their horror stories, which lets the devs focus on other things. It also improves the community morale a tiny bit, because when a game listens to those small but painful UX issues, players feel heard. Again, this patch is small and pragmatic. Stability fixes, tiny performance wins, and concrete save system repairs. If you've been experiencing those exact save symptoms, this update should be a clear relief. If you haven't noticed issues, the patch still contributes to the overall polish and is part of keeping the game in good shape as more people play.